Good evening, my Real News Media TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update for November 29, 2023. And in the news this evening, residents thwart alleged co-thieves in Manchester. The quick action of residents of New Green near Martins Hill dump in Manchester thwarted alleged co-thieves on Wednesday morning as the farmers in the South Central Parish continue to struggle with predial larceny. Reports suggest that the alleged thieves, who managed to escape after slaughtering a bull around 5:30 a.m., threatened to shoot a resident who alerted the farmer whose cow was being stolen and the police. The resident reportedly hid in bushes after raising the alarm. The man heard some noise, and when he looked, he saw that the men were stealing the cow, so he raised an alarm and they threatened to shoot him. So he went and hid, and then it's like they realized that people might come down on them, so they left the cow and run away, said a resident. The slaughtered bull was reportedly found mere meters from the main road where the thieves abandoned it. The news was told that farmers in the area has lost the goats to thieves. In recent weeks, there have been several reports of predial larceny in Manchester. Just last week, amendments to the Agricultural Produce Act were passed in the House of Representatives to seek more stringent penalties to address the issue of predial larceny. Under the amended bill, the maximum fine for people convicted of transporting stolen agricultural produce has moved from $250,000 to $1 million, and the maximum prison term of 3 months is now 3 years. Ex-girlfriend testifies about a sacrificed text message during Shanika Gray murder trial. The ex-girlfriend of Gregory Roberts, the man being tried for the 2017 murder of schoolgirl Shanika Gray, today testified that he sent her a text message containing the word sacrifice. The woman told the St. James Circuit Court that the message was sent days before the teenager's body was found in bushes with stab wounds. The witness, who was the sixth of the prosecution's intended 18 witnesses to testify at the trial, said that the defendant, with whom she had been in a relationship of approximately 2 years, sent her a message with a menacing word on the night of January 29, 2017. Gregory texted me from his phone, and there was a mention about sacrifice. That word was in the text message, the witness told the lead prosecutor, Andrea Martin Swaby. When you saw the word, did you respond to him? Martin Swaby asked. I'm sure I did respond, but I can't tell you the exact words, the witness answered. The witness also told the court that on the following day, January 30, 2017, Roberts messaged her to ask if another witness who testified for the prosecution on Monday had shown her a video that he wanted her to see. Gregory did text me asking if the other witness showed me the video, and I said, what video? And he said, I asked him to send you the video. I'm not sure what this video is about, the witness explained, noting that Roberts never sent her the video in question himself. The previous witness had testified on Monday that on January 29, 2017, Roberts came to him wearing blood-stained clothes and showed him a video of himself stabbing a young girl. Shanika Gray was found dead in bushes in Irwin, St. James, with multiple stab wounds on February 1, 2017. More delays for cops on murder charge. The case of 2 policemen charged for a fatal shooting, which occurred over 15 years ago, continues to face delays. When the matter against Sergeant Gervin Leachman and Constable Dean Lawson was called up in the St. Catherine Circuit Court today, it was pushed back for mention until January 30 next year. The court registrar explained that due to a shortage of stenographers, the circuit was cut short, impacting the hearing of cases. Bail was further extended. Attorneys at law Charles Campbell and John Pinnock are representing the men. They are charged with the death of Giovanni Robinson, who was shot and killed over 15 years ago. Allegations are that about 3:30 p.m. on September 22, 2008, Leachman and Lawson were on operation in Jobs Lane, Spanish Town, when they were allegedly challenged by Robinson. He was shot and later died from his injuries. The police reported the seizure of an illegal gun in the incident. An investigation was launched, and in April 2022, the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions ruled that the 2 policemen be charged. They have maintained their innocence throughout their court appearances. Freedom Imaginaries awaiting response to asylum application on behalf of 9 Haitian migrants. Human rights lobby group Freedom Imaginaries is awaiting a response from the government to its application for asylum on behalf of 9 Haitians who arrived in Jamaica between Sunday night and Monday morning. Human rights attorney with Freedom Imaginaries, Malene Alain, says that the application was submitted Tuesday. The boat which transported the Haitians was spotted at Long Bay Beach in Portland on Monday morning, and the police were contacted. Speaking with the news, Ms. Alain said twice on Tuesday she attempted to speak with the 5 men and the 4 women at the Manchaniel police station, but was denied by the police.
They're saying that they are instructed by PICA not to allow the Haitians to speak with lawyers, and that, this is out of their hands basically, and that they're under instructions. And, I explained that there's no basis in law to deny anyone in Jamaica due process and access to an attorney. My message to all relevant agencies and authorities is that if past practice is observed, the Haitians will likely be returned today, at some point today, by a Coast Guard vessel. And so the window of opportunity to take action is very small. And I just encourage the authorities. We submitted a request for asylum yesterday. And this morning I followed up again with the government, but they haven't responded. And so I just urge the government to at least respond to the request and allow for due process to take place. And all relevant agencies, with a mandate for children, for women, for migrants to get involved and to ensure that they have access to protection services. Again, I just want to emphasize that I want to be a good faith partner with the government. I do have very serious concerns which I've expressed to the government. My most immediate concern, for example, is that the children in the group do not have access to education. The Haitians, of course, would love to, not be deprived of liberty and have freedom of movement, but they've been in this stage of limbo for quite some time, and you can imagine that would take a toll on anyone. And so I am very concerned about their situation.
No need for new ministry to tackle crime, say advocacy groups. Some advocacy groups are insistent that there is no need for a new ministry to tackle crime in the country. This comes in response to Prime Minister Andrew Holness's announcement on Sunday proposing that a new ministerial portfolio be created to focus on peace in response to nationwide calls for an effective crime plan to stem the constant bloodletting across Jamaica. Co-chairman for the Advocates Network, Robert Stevens, has asserted that the group is not in support of additional bureaucratic crime oversight. He said the government must pump up more resources into existing tools and organizations such as the Crime Monitoring and Oversight Committee, which he believes has been largely ignored over the last year.
That organization has been left essentially with the private sector and civil society organizations trying to not only monitor but come up with solutions without the full support of the government. The Prime Minister needs to play a very important leadership role in that organization and ensure that we all come together as a nation to deal with our problems. This thing of setting up more bureaucracy and having more centralized government control and oversight and all that is not working. The government needs to support this organization with some kind of secretariat.
Meanwhile, Executive Director of Jamaicans for Justice, Michael Jackson, said the role of the National Security Ministry comes into question if the proposed portfolio is to be established.
You have the Ministry of Justice that has the restorative justice program. Can it be removed? It can. You have the Ministry of National Security, the overarching ministry that exists to deal with crime and violence. My question to you, when you remove these programs from Ministry of Justice that has the justice of the peace, having already considered that a significant portion of the Ministry of Justice, the law reform unit and so on, those were redirected to the Ministry of Legal and Constitutional Affairs. When you remove the violence prevention component from the Ministry of National Security, what would then be the purpose of those ministries?
Elderly man gone missing since Sunday in Clarendon. 81-year-old Wilbert Gabidon of Boghole District, James Hill in Clarendon, has been missing since Sunday, November 26. He is of brown complexion, slim build, and about 165 centimeters or 5 feet 5 inches tall. Reports from the Frankfield police are that Gabidon was last seen at home wearing a green long-sleeve shirt, khaki pants, and a pair of brown slippers. All efforts to locate him since then have been unsuccessful. Anyone knowing the whereabouts of Wilbert Gabidon is asked to contact the Frankfield police at 876-904-4507, the police 119 emergency number, or the nearest police station. NSWME admits to lagging behind in proper waste management practices. The National Solid Waste Management Authority is conceding that it is significantly lagging behind in the proper management and the separation practices of waste disposal. The revelation came during Wednesday morning's Public Administration and Appropriations Committee meeting, reviewing the report from the Ministry of Local Government and Community Development. Opposition member of the committee, Lisa Hanna, noted that recyclable materials are currently not being separated from general waste items at disposal sites. Ms. Anna questioned whether the NSWMA did not have the capacity to make the separation itself, given that private entities are currently responsible for separation duties. But NSWMA Executive Director Audley Gordon said that the agency has been working with the ministry to improve its waste disposal management capacity.
If you have in excess of 182 million tons, not pounds, tons of plastic disposed of on an annual basis, this is real cause for concern. And how do we get your entity, which is really responsible for island-wide garbage disposal and collection?
We are pretty much playing catch-up. We should have been far farther along. We should by now be separating garbage at source. But just one, I would highlight that the critical regulations to support the NSWM Act, those regulations, critical pieces of regulations, are still not. We diversified the batch of trucks, the offering for the next 50 trucks to include 10 tipper trucks. The plastic, if you're going to mix it back with the compactables, it defeats the purpose.